Everyone, Zeddy here again today with a brand new video, and all the Death Knight cards are revealed, but we got a lot of other stuff to go over. And starting today, the neutral cards are being revealed. We have a couple to go over now, and there's going to be a lot later today, so you'll want to stay tuned for a second review. But we have a really amazing legendary I want to go over. It's just really cool, tons of value. I also want to give you guys an update on the arena situation because, well, it's gotten worse, even worse from yesterday. And, well, also a reminder that we have a giveaway going on. We're giving away 2 mega bundles, 2 regular pre-orders out of my pocket. All you have to do is like and comment on the video in the description below. Subscribe to the channel. Every 1,000 subs we hit until all the cards are revealed, I will add another mega bundle. So hit that sub button, make me go broke. Before we get into the cards though, I've got to go over this arena situation. Yesterday we were talking about Matt London saying avoid the arena. The hot fix that went live just was not working well. They eventually just disabled arena, and as I am recording this, it is currently just, you cannot play arena. You click it, it will say it is currently unavailable. Basically what was happening is every created by card, so like a discover card wouldn't discover anything, or if you played like a card that would generate a minion, like a piloted shredder, which would summon a random 2-drop, would summon nothing. So all the generation cards just broke. So yeah, they're working on it. Matt London gave another update saying they're going for a test build to load. So they're working hard on it, you know, trying to fix it. But he has been appreciative of the everyone being so kind and understanding and not rude, and saying that the Hearthstone community has the best gaming community. So props to you guys for not going to flame him because he can't play arena. You know, things happen, and I'm glad that they are working on it. Anyways, just wanted to give an update on that. Let's go into the cards. And, well, starting off, we have one of the coolest legendaries I've ever seen. Pyros is crying in a corner because we now have Astalor Bloodsworn, a 2-mana 2/2 neutral legendary, but it's not just that. It starts off with Battle Cry, add Astalor the Protector to your hand, Mana Thirst 4, deal 2 damage. If you don't remember what Mana Thirst is, since it's been a while since that was revealed, and I don't remember a single Death Knight card having Mana Thirst. Maybe one of the expansion cards did, but regardless, Mana Thirst means if you hit that threshold of mana, you get that effect. So the second you hit 4 mana crystals, this will deal 2 damage on top of it. It won't cost 4, but it'll deal 2 and also deal 2 damage. It's like the old Omega cards, if you remember those. If you hit 10 mana, you would get that 10 mana effect, like Omega Devastator and all of that. So if you hit 4 mana, you wait till you have 4 mana, you can flex this in for 2 mana, deal 2 damage. It's nothing amazing, but you know, it's not bad. But it gets cooler as we move along. As we have Astalor the Protector here, which is the 5-mana version that adds Astalor the Flamebringer to your hand. And you can actually brand these, and I believe you brand both the effects too, right? Like if you brand Astalor for 2 mana, you would get the Protector as well twice, and you deal 2 damage twice. But yeah, so you get you basically add the Flamebringer to your hand, but also if you're at 7 mana, so Mana Thirst 7, you gain 5 armor, which is a good amount of armor. And again, if you brand it, it's 10 armor. Pretty good. So you get a 5 mana 5/5, gain 7 armor. And then lastly, we have Astalor the Flamebringer. You get an 8 mana 8/8, and this is the big payoff. Battle Cry, you deal 8 damage, randomly split amongst all enemies. So like a Cthulhu style thing, and it's pings. So if you want to get through, what's the card? Solid Alibi for Mage. Each missile will proc 1 hit, so it's a little bit better in that regard. However, Mana Thirst 10, you deal 8 more, so this can deal 16 damage, and if you've saved the coin or whatever, you can brand it and deal 16 times 2, 32. That's a mark video right there. So yeah, this card is just like value incarnate. You get damage, some reach here. You get some armor, and then you get an insane amount of damage in the late game. I'm wondering if this will be the free legendary we get on the rewards track. They always give one free neutral legendary, right? Like got Denathrius last time. This one would be pretty cool if that was the free one, but who knows? Just speculating and all. Really cool card. Is it like really good? I don't know, but I feel like a Renathal deck would probably like this, just like as a curve filler and just a value filler. I just think it's a really cool card. I love Pyros. It's one of my favorite cards, although it's never really been that playable. It's an elemental. You get a 2/2 elemental that would create a 6/6 elemental that would create a 10/10 elemental. But you can give a lifesteal with Jaina. That was kind of neat. And yeah, this is a lot better than that. Like, these are proactive abilities. It doesn't feel quite as bad to play, and one doesn't cost 10 mana. Playing a 10 drop is brutal, but playing an 8 drop that, you know, can deal damage on the board is pretty good, but you really need to get the mana thirst on it. You really need to deal that 8 extra, get 16, but I just think it's a really cool card. I'm gonna give it a 3. I just think it's like a card that you probably slot into like Renathal, or you could play in like Shaman and just get really good value with like Macaws, right? Because the Macaw will recast this. It'll add these effects. So you can like play Astalor and Macaw, Bolner Macaw, or Bolner Macaw on like 10 and do a lot of damage. So Shaman can really utilize this. So maybe it's like a 3 for like all classes and like a 4 for Shaman. So I don't know, it's a really cool card. It's got some really good potential. Look out. And man, golden, you'll get 3 different golden versions. Should be pretty sweet. And lastly, we have one more card. We're gonna have a lot to go over later today, by the way. Like, I think the Hearthstone subreddit is getting like 20 plus neutrals. They're all being revealed in the next couple days. So we're gonna have a big review later. So I wanted to get these out of the way. The Enchanter, a 3 mana 3/3 neutral epic. Enemy minions take double damage during your turn. When I first saw this get revealed, I thought it said enemies and I was about to lose it, because 3 mana double face damage would be pretty damn like ridiculous in a lot of different decks, like aggro combo decks. It would be broken, I would think. However, this does say enemy minion, so I guess the most like apt comparison probably here is like Moarg Artificer, 2 mana 2/4 that would double the spell damage, or double the damage a spell would do to a minion, right? So this kind of does that, except for everything. And I guess you could if what was it, the Il'gynoth OTK was still around, maybe you would do this instead, and you could do like other shenanigans. You don't really have that kind of card where if you damage the minion, it'll go face. You don't have that, you know, was it Ashtongue that you could do Silas Ashtongue OTK? You might be able to do something silly like that in Wild. Like, I expect something like this. Mark, this is a Mark card. Mark will definitely be OTKing in Wild with that type of an effect, but I don't know. I just don't know how good this is. It definitely is probably good with like certain lifesteal AoEs in particular. Like, you do a whole play this and like even like a city tax, you're doubling that, it deals 2. But yeah, just like lifesteal effects typically are super good with this style of thing, where you get, not only do you get the double damage, but you get the double heal. So I would look out for it in decks like that. Maybe Death Knight, because they have a lot of those lifesteal spells, or Demon Hunter as well. I don't know. I feel like it's too fringe to see play, but we saw what Moarg Artificer did. That was a really iconic card in a lot of different decks, and it saw play throughout its entire run. It got nerfed to 3, and well, this is already 3. I'm gonna give this a 3. I do think, although it's not like super exciting, we've seen effects similar to this, and again, it's only enemy minions. So like, if you do that double-sided AoE, it won't double up on your stuff too, like Moarg would do, which would hit everything, right? So I think this card will have utility. It'll just depend on what deck it is, but it's a flexible, cool style of card that might make you think about how you're building your deck, and it doesn't go face, so it's not utterly broken. So yeah, I'll give it a 3 in both Standard and Wild. I do think that Wild probably less likely. I'll give it a 2 in Wild. I can actually start rating it differently, because I'm not just gonna lump it all together. I'll start giving actual Wild ratings. But yeah, I definitely do think this card has some validity to it. Anyways, that's the card so far. Tune in later today. There's going to be a lot of cards to go over, so you'll want to check that out. And if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Have a great day and stay salty, my friends.